Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, guys, I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is choosing you. I don't know what that means. But apparently there's some choosing going on, and you're being considered. The Capricorn in me is like, I hope it's work. Work, 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 work. I'm saying. Okay, hold on. Oh, prepare yourself for an incredible adventure as you embark on a transformative journey. A what? Did the check come through? What? What? Okay, so let's just, let's get started. How's everyone doing, by the way? How are you doing? You doing fabulous? Good. Very good. Very, very good. Right. So, guys, I have a surprise for this evening for our community. Right. You got to make sure that you tune in later this evening. Again, I have a surprise for our community. I'm going to be doing podcast. Unfortunately, it's going to be solo. Solo, but I wanted to do it. Who knows? Maybe I'll bring someone. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to be doing the Soul Sanctuary podcast this evening. So make sure you guys join me for that. I keep on falling. And I love with you. Sometimes I love you. Sometimes you make me blue. I don't know why that song popped up. All right, one more deck to shuffle. And then we're going to get started, okay? One more deck to shuffle. Sometimes I saw something. Oh, shit. Dang it. I saw something and I saw a card that I feel some type of way towards, and then this card fell out. Okay, so now I don't know what to do. I need to surrender. I need to surrender. I'm shuffling the deck one more time or two more times because, three more times. I just, like for me personally, if you go silent, then that's enough for me. Then that's enough for me. That's it. That's enough. I don't need any more instability in my life. But I'm just speaking for me, right? I'm totally, I'm so imbued with Piscean energy. It's ridiculous. If you're silent, there's nothing for me to gauge, and so I'll create worst case scenario stories in my head. And then I'll be like, I'm good. No, it's okay, really. I'm good. You good luck with your life. I'm leaving you alone. All right, so let's get started, guys. We are ready. Okay. This is about you surrendering to whatever process that you're in. You're needing to surrender to the process. There's a choosing that's happening. And, someone is choosing you. I don't know if it's you choosing you. Maybe. Who knows? Okay. Just breathe, girl. Just breathe. All right. We're breathing. We're starting. Okay. this reading's already calling all of y'all out. I'm not claiming none of this. Oh, Michael says yes, you are. Michaela, do you have a birth canal? Michaela, are you equipped with a birth canal? No? So then there's no way for you to be my mother? Correct. Correct. Because really, the only one that I would listen to is my mother. Oftentimes, not even then. Definitely would not listen to my father. So, what I'm saying is, I will claim whatever I want to claim, and I will not claim whatever I do not want to claim. And I'm just going to continue with this reading, okay? You're making my hair frizzy. Go away. Go away. Go away. So, first card, healer in reverse. There's something there's something that you're not wanting to heal, and in your avoidance of whatever this is, you are taking away your potentiality to heal yourself. You know what I'm saying? He's always savage with me. It's like, no. Anyways, okay, we just want to slick this down because he's irritating me. Spirit is initiating something. Whatever spirit is initiating, ooh, y'all, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. You gonna learn. I'm gonna learn. Not from you. 100% at 11:22, 7:33, 37. What? I love it. Okay, so spirit is initiating something. And it has to do with addressing your lack of willingness to heal. Heal beyond whatever it is that hurt your feelings, right? So, is it like that TikTok filter, the apology that you needed but never received? And now you're receiving it from the filter, and the filter is like telling you, um, what did the filter tell? What did the filter tell us? Oh, that's right. I didn't use that filter because I don't care. Michael says, you realize that's a trauma response, right? Correct. And you realize the fact that I have tremendous amounts of trauma responses, that should tell you, that's highly indicative of how much I've been traumatized in life. Just be glad that I haven't switched to the dark side. I'm just saying. I feel like for us, highly sensitive empaths, especially us Pisceans, us water signs, um, I feel like we don't get enough credit for holding it together. I feel that so deeply. I feel like we don't get enough credit for holding it together, like without the use of petroleum-based medications. Like, I don't know if people really just understood, you know, like, do you realize how hard I could wild out? How hard we all could wild out, but we don't. Give us some credit. Okay. What is this? What is this post that 1,091 people reacted to? And it never will load it. Is it like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like maybe y'all should give yourselves the credit for remaining in control, not wilding out to the degree that you could wild out. Like yesterday, I'm totally going to overshare right now. It's okay. Some of the tism is coming out of me. So yesterday, it's like a light turned on the car. I don't know what light. I wasn't in the car. And then my husband tells me, like, he left me somewhere. He left me at the gym to go work out while he quickly ran an errand. And then he came back and he tells me that the engine light or something turned on and that he needed to take the vehicle into the shop. And I was like, okay. And and so he takes it to the shop, and then the shop calls him, and lets him know that they found metal shavings, which is so bad. If you don't know, that's so bad. That can be indicative of a need for an entire engine. And luckily, our warranty is still intact, but except this little detail of they said that unless we could provide basically a year's worth, an entire year's worth of oil change receipts for the vehicle, then they're going to classify it as a lack of maintenance. Therefore, it's a maintenance issue, and that is not covered in warranty. And I was like, you mean the receipts that I keep telling you you should keep because we use that for our tax returns? Those receipts that I see laying around, those receipts. And now we couldn't find the receipts, and I had all these intrusive thoughts. All these intrusive thoughts. And I was just like, I could totally wild out right now. I could totally wild out. Like, what are my options? And then I was like, no, we're not going to destroy this man. He's always on point with getting oil changes and stuff. He just didn't keep the receipts. But we're not going to do that. we're not going to raise our voice. We're not going to do that. We're going to function as a team. This is a test. Do not harm this man. He is very good to you. Do not harm him verbally or otherwise. Do not harm him. Do not do any of that to him. Oh, I was just like, ooh, I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Because he was already like, I'm going to go to every single oil change place and ask them for a printout of our receipts. And at first they had said, oh, we don't keep that. We don't keep those records. You could call corporate. Maybe they'll have that for you, but we don't have that. And of course, that was more fuel for me to be like, ooh, intrusive thoughts. You're sounding very good right now. You're sounding very much an option. And then I was like, no, 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 no. This is a test. This is a test. This is a test. Do not harm this man. He is good to you. He feeds you. He cooks all your meals. And so it's like, okay, this is going to work out because I'm not paying several thousands of dollars to replace this engine when we still have a warranty. I don't give a shit. This is going to work out. It's going to work out. And I kept myself in check. And he went to go to the places, and then he called me with an update. He's like, I got all the receipts. I was like, see what I'm saying? He made it happen. See what I'm saying? Right? Okay. So not only did good stuff happen from that because I kept myself in check, I refused to budge from that space of centeredness where I'm like, no, I'm not manifesting anything outside of the fact that this is going to get fixed. It's going to be covered by warranty, and I don't need to wild out. When you can remain in check, centered in a space of like consciously creating, consciously supporting whatever process that you are in, sometimes really amazing things happen. What you expect is the outcome. Okay. And you have to give yourself credit for that when you can hold it together. You have to give yourself credit for that. So, what is it that's being initiated? I think it's a test. I think it's a test to help you see what is the most important thing for you right now. What puzzle pieces are missing, right? Um they um so Village Baby is a mechanic, right? And anything happens to the car, I'm like so quick to message and like vent like, "Oh my god, Tarek." Do you know what happened to the car? And he's like, oh yeah, you should totally just check Carfax because they do input your VIN number according to what Derek said. I don't know where you're going to check this, but it should have Yeah. See, that's why he got nominated to be my twin proxy. Here's my twin right here. Yeah, he's just check Carfax, CarMax. I don't know. What is it? Because obviously I didn't check it. Whatever he said, he's gonna put it in the comments. That's where you go check. And he said that they have your log of every single time you go to maintain it, they input your VIN. See? Our community is amazing. But a lot of what's happening is what you're manifesting. Because if we're really going to look at that situation that I gave you guys as an example as to how much I'm keeping my shit together. um, I think he said it was like something with a traction light or something. I don't know. And I was just like, ew, ew, we're not gonna have a car again. But I don't think it was. Yeah, no, he said something, some light turned on, and immediately I was like, "Oh, what else do we need to change?" The warranty is gonna be done soon, and it's kind of like, maybe they should just replace the whole engine so we don't have to deal with that after the warranty is done. And I just said that in my head, and then afterwards, when they told us that the engine might need to be replaced, I was like, "Oh, fuck. Did I manifest that? Did did I do that?" Because you know what it is? And this was my genuine reaction. I was like, "We're gonna find the receipts. We're gonna have a new engine. We're gonna have a new engine. We have a new transmission. What else? What else? What else new do we need that we don't want to pay for later? Do that all of that, and it's all going to be covered in warranty." And I would not budge from that thought. I would not budge from that thought. I kept feeling a little something creeping up from my belly, and I was like, "No, bitch, get back down." No, nope. The only thing that's happening is what I want to happen, and my husband makes things happen, and he's gonna make this happen. He's gonna get the receipts. He's gonna do whatever he needs to do. And I'm just gonna go focus on the work that I have to do today, and that's that. And that's exactly how it went down. Maybe part of choosing you has to do with you choosing what you want and not swaying, not allowing yourself to sway from the decision you made, right? What decision did you make? What is it that you want? What outcome? What is your circumstance and what outcome do you want for that circumstance? Because if we can get in front of whatever is happening and the ways in which you're being tested, we can definitely begin to like be extremely powerful in creating circumstance that we want. There's an intensification that's going to occur. I think for some of us, it's already occurring. This intensification that was initiated by soul to get you past the hump of not allowing yourself to heal, right? Ooh. Did you cause that accident, Lisa? Are you at fault? Are you at fault there? Because if you're not at fault, um, like if you're not determined to be at fault, fuck mediation. Girl, get yourself a personal injury lawyer. Get yourself a personal injury lawyer. And no, you're not, unless the person's not insured. If the person is insured, insurance is trying to screw you over. Hell no, girl. And personal injury lawyers have a very high tendency to be on contingency, meaning if my son and I got hit by a garbage. Oh, girl, no, 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 no. No, they're going to screw you over. No, 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 no. Call personal injury lawyers today, right now. Explain the situation. No, 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 girlfriend. Exactly. No, don't settle. Don't settle. Have you spoken to a lawyer? See, they're trying to shortchange you. Girl, hell no. Okay, good. I was like, no. I think this is a period where we're being shown the ways in which we have allowed others circumstance to kind of screw us over, right? Um there's a lot of stuff that's happening right now where let's take a deep breath. Just like exhale some of that anxiety. You have to hold strong. You have to stay in your space. You have to choose yourself. And I think as you do this, for those of us who are looking for love, I think as you do this, you'll find that love, real love, the type of love that you are wanting and needing but can't seem to find. I think you'll find that it starts gravitating towards you. The connections that you make with others will be the types of connections that are healthiest for you. By spring, for some of you, you're gonna have this like hot stuff guy come over. By spring, there's this like really intense guy. Maybe he's like Capricorn energy. I don't know. He's gonna come and he's gonna come with a flute. I don't know. Maybe he'll speak Quechua. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Like he's focused. Ew. Did he already see you? Is it you guys? Is this someone already in your life? What is this? Um okay. Uh so Krishna. So um for some of you who need this information, you're like, what's he going to look like? Okay, I will tell you. He's going to have wild ass hair. He's probably going to have facial hair as well. Um, he looks like he cares for his nails and his nail bed. He's going to have somewhat deep set eyes. By the look of this, he's probably going to have lighter colored eyes. Are you into that or you like the darker? I mean, what do y'all want? What do y'all want? Make this like manifest it, boo. What's your type? What's your type? Tell me. Let's push this along. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. What do y'all want? I'm serious. I'm serious. He's so focused on you. Look at that. Look at that. By spring, I mean, maybe he'll work up the courage to approach you guys, right? Something's being initiated. And by the looks of the cards for right now, what's being initiated is, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He looks like because if his eyes are light and his skin is like kind of the same tone as the eyes, I'm assuming this is like a really light-skinned person. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Um I think for many of you though, uh if you really want this, you can absolutely manifest it. No, Michael, be quiet. No, don't involve Marlene. She's been quiet this whole time. don't aggravate her. She's been quiet this whole time. So before this boom chicka wow wow happens for y'all in spring, with this flute playing guy, one time at band camp, I have to be mindful of the way I joke around. I have, hmm. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. I'm gonna behave because I need to behave. I'm going to behave because I need to behave. Okay, so there is this guy. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. Um, okay, so the sound of the flute symbolizes new beginnings, hope, and joy. Um, it signifies Krishna's blessings for unadulterated and pure love. Made from bamboo, the flute represents the emptiness from which music emerges, embodying simplicity and purity. Hold up. Okay. Okay. Okay, so Krishna is the outer manifestation of Shiva, and Shiva is the inner silence of Krishna. Okay. Okay. So, there's a potentiality that this person is very introverted, and now they're embodying more of the Krishna energy, which is more an external projection of their interest in you. Mhm. Cause baby, if you give it to me, I'll give it to you. I know what you want. You know I got it. Baby, if you give it to me, I'll give it to you. As long as you want. I got it. I'm saying this might be a perfect match for you. It might be a perfect match for you. I want to do a really quick disclaimer. For anyone who's watching this, who is like secretly thinking that we are twins, and this is like confirmation that it's time for you to make your move on me. Kindly fuck out of here. Kindly, I have enough stalkers who justify their disgusting behavior uh, based on this whole twin thing. So, yeah, okay, leave me alone. All right. So this is someone who's willing, absolutely willing to, or in the process of being more external in the show of their interest in you. Unless, of course, this masculine energy is a bomb ass talent agent. At which point, call your girl. I have words to share with the world. Call me. Let a girl know. Okay? That I will absolutely accept that. Now, this winter, as things intensify for you or the cross watcher, there's a guardian that's being positioned to help with whatever this process is. You're not being left alone in this. Okay. That tells me it's going to be a very difficult process. That tells me it's going to be a very challenging thing, and you're going to need to make sure that you are willing to do the work that needs to be done. This is not going to be something that ends quickly. This is a process, a full-on process. You got what it takes to get it done. Just do it. I'm serious. Just do it. You have what it takes to get it done. Just do it. So your cross watcher, whoever that masculine is, he's concealed right now. Okay. To the masculine that's watching you, if you see the person you're watching struggling, why are you not offering to help? That is subpar behavior in my eyes. I'm absolutely serious. What? You expect to be a boyfriend and have boyfriend status, but you're not doing boyfriend behaviors. This is how you get yourself in that boyfriend zone. When you see someone is struggling, you don't wait for them to ask you for help. You offer like a gentleman. Okay? So do it. Reach out. Not to me. Not to me. To your person. To your person. Okay? Um mhm. Ooh. So here. There's something that's being forgotten. And whatever this ooh, is this someone that you already know? Nameless. Wake up. Wake up, nameless. 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 Hello, how are you doing well? Yes. May I ask you some questions? Yes. Okay. So, nameless, is this cross watcher a person that they already know in this life? Yes. Okay. Nameless. Um, I don't know what to ask you. Nameless. Um, I don't know what to ask you. You could just go back and take a nap. Go back in your gold box, take a nap. We shall bother you later, okay? We shall bother you later. So there is a component to this that you're not remembering. Okay? Um ooh, I'm wondering if this is someone that has already pledged their undying devotion to you. Someone who has intentions to defend you, protect you, just, be the whole package for you. Sorry. Mm. Just ignore me right now. Um I'm sorry. Let me get it together. Let me get it together. Ooh. Ooh. Whose energy am I reacting to right now? What is this? Ooh. Um, and they're coming home. You know what I'm saying? They're coming home. Uh, maybe it's you coming home to yourself and choosing you. I don't know. Someone is choosing you. Is it you? Are you doing the choosing? There's a need to move forward from this space of a lack of unconditional love, you know? I think there's a lot of acknowledgments that are happening. I think that's a process that someone is in right now. I don't know if it's you. I don't I was gonna say I don't know. I know for a fact it's not me. I know for a fact it's not me. Um, Christy, what you're missing is this is a whole ass setup. And I am ever so gingerly walking through the gauntlet of this reading. I just like, no bitches. Oh, oh, miss me with your setup. Miss me with your setup. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, I be nimble AF. I am nimble AF when I'm avoiding shit. Please do not underestimate my degree of avoidance. I don't know what this is, but like I said, unless this is about work and you have an offer to get me connected with a top tier talent agency so that I could speak, leave me alone. Michael says I've already said that multiple times and that I know, well, some people don't listen very well. So I'll say it again. I figured, Christy, I figured. Um, so Lucy is here as well. It's becoming a whole party up in here, just so you're aware. Um, is it okay if I share some details, Christy? Is that okay? Is that okay with you? You need to allow yourself to be a free spirit, to move through this in um whatever way you need to move through it. Now is not the time to be stiff in your movements, to be very like staunch in the way you choose to perceive what's happening for you, is what I'm being told. So guys, remember how like a couple of years ago, it's been a couple of years, Marlene just showed up and then like she wouldn't give me her name. And so we're like, okay, Como, someone's mom. Um, well, I was live the last time I was live on TikTok. Um, I was doing some readings for people and I happened to do one for Christy. It was supposed to be a scan, but then suddenly um Christy's mom had come forward and and she basically has not left me since the live stream. So we have a new person here, Miss Lucy, Miss Lucille, who has been providing some commentary here and there for the past few days. It's really becoming one hell of a party up in here. um, Lucy and Marlene have been chit-chatting quietly for the past several days. They're not involving me too much in their conversations. There's a lot of giggles and a lot of looking over at me. They don't tell me what they're talking about. I'm just like, that's fine. I see how it is. I see. It's okay. So there's a lack of belief in yourself. There's a lack of belief in the fact that that someone could feel this way about you. That someone, oh my God, have they been pining away for that's okay. That's a question here. Nameless, wake up, boo. Wake up. Nameless. Um nameless. I forgot the question. Um nameless. Is this cross watcher pining away for them? Yes. Is this a new feeling? No. Have they known you for a long time? Yes. Like years? Yes. Okay. This is someone that you've probably known for years. Now, this is a general reading, so I don't know who I'm talking to, but this is someone that you've known for years. And this is definitely something that um, has greatly affected this person. I'm assuming they've stayed away. Have they stayed away from you? Hold on. I'm going to ask because now I'm super nosy and your girl has time today. Has this person stayed away? Yes. Wait, why were you originally saying no? Okay. Has this person been keeping track? Yes. Um mm, I think this person has been in your periphery for quite some time now. I think this is someone who, I think this is someone who really, really just has made sure to stay on the outer fringes of your awareness. And as this has happened, um, I think it's been going on for quite some time. Is this like a case of, um, I don't know if there was a falling out or maybe just like a diverging of paths, and so they've kind of tried to steer clear simply because they're unsure if there's room for them or if their presence is welcome. And so they've kind of just stayed on the outer fringes. Um, walk your truth in reverse. I think they've been in this process of denying what you mean to them. Okay, that's a difficult one. That's definitely a difficult one. Um, a balance needs to be restored, you know? A balance definitely needs to be restored, and it needs to be something, the restoration process needs to be something that your soul guides you to and through, because it's the number 2, right? 2 is a number of guidance. So this is something that you need to be guided to and through. Excuse me. It's part of the sacred journey that you're on. And a lot of what's happening during this sacred journey is the need for you to begin considering what the next chapters will be, how the next chapters are to be written, consciously choosing the details. Um, hmm, hmm. Surrender, a need to surrender, a need to allow these things, these discomforts, to kind of just roll off you, right? Like how water cleanses from you, from your hair, from your skin, um, the impurities, the day to day impurities. I'm going to be really honest, you guys. I feel very, very, very uncomfortable right now. If you guys are feeling a shift in energy, I'm feeling very uncomfortable. Kind of just need to acknowledge that. So, card number 44, visions of life beyond death. So, I'm wondering if part of what this message is has a lot to do with um, how this cross watcher has greatly felt like parts of them have died in your absence. Like, mm, um, there's a lot that's been hidden. You see the moon up there? There's a lot that's been hidden. They feel as though they're consistently being watched, that they can't actually receive messages from soul. That's what's being hidden. The gravity of who they are and their wisdom about your proper place in their life. It's being so heavily watched by so many eyes. And they've had to really immerse themselves in the matrix, really immerse themselves in that monotonous day to day of whatever it is that they need to do to hide the fact that they're willing to play a sacred fool for you, right? This is someone who is willing to um This is someone who's willing to forego all things based in ego, but they just really don't know. They don't know how to approach. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to overcome things. They just don't know. They feel very frozen in what it is that's happening, what it is they're considering, the risks that they're wanting and willing to take. Um, mm. Card number 24, new birth guarded vigilantly. So now it's like their perception of you is shifting. And as that perception shifts, um, they're entering into spaces of just intense and extreme vulnerability. I don't know that they've come forward yet with their intentions, with their desires, even with just simple words. What is already with you? So they're already in the process of changing and shifting and just really um um I'm just really having a really hard time right now. I'm feeling a repeat of certain cycles, certain lessons, certain struggles that I've had pretty much my whole life. Um and part of that struggle is understanding the boundaries, um knowing and being able to say no when I know that I should say no, struggling with um I guess you could describe it as having a bleeding heart for anyone and everyone, right? um and so many different thoughts run through my head. It's running through my head right now of all the times where um I've had this same feeling pop up and I've ignored it. For one reason or another, I've ignored it and I've allowed myself to participate, to offer, to extend offers. And yeah, and it has gone very badly. I saw someone's comment. Um, and I don't want to leave it unacknowledged, but at the same time, you know, at the same time, I'm I have to dig deeper to find um larger concentrations of courage right now. It's so easy for someone to tell empaths that you have to know boundaries, you have to enforce boundaries. You have to know when to say no, you have to stay in your lane, you have to this, you have to that. It's very, very easy, right? It's very, very, very easy. But when it comes down to it, to apply those instructions, even if they're from soul, um, it it can sometimes be a struggle. It can definitely sometimes be a struggle, and it becomes this thing where you really need to allow yourself to hold space for yourself, to honor um, your needs before the requests of others. And that's very difficult for me to say. That's very, very difficult for me to say. Um, so, you know, it's please don't be disrespectful to me. Okay. Please don't be disrespectful to me. You are crossing a boundary with me right now. And the fact that you're seeing me struggling and you're still trying to push and push and push, that's not okay. That is not okay. If you allow yourself to pause long enough and process your feelings, you oftentimes will be shown why you are not drawn to get involved in the thing you are hesitating to involve yourself in. Thank you, Deb. People will want things from you. Um, I'm not talking to you, Mushfika. I'm speaking to someone else on YouTube. People will want things from you. Things that you're going to have to choose. Is what you're choosing something that's in alignment with what you should do? Or is this a repeat of you giving in because there are certain triggers that you have lived through, right? Certain things that you have been through and the triggers still exist. And there are people who are being allowed to cross your path. So that way you can acknowledge that those triggers still exist. See, for me, when I read that there is something life and death with someone's child, that's a major trigger. Before all things that I am a mother. And having had my own newborn be in the hospital, in the PICU, pediatric intensive care unit, fighting for his life at only a few days old, I don't take that lightly, right? Being a person who I don't exaggerate, I don't when there's a need, I don't speak from a space of emotion causing me to distort my perception of what's happening. Um, Let me cut through all the politically correct communication. I feel like I'm being manipulated right now. I feel like I'm being presented with an opportunity by soul, a circumstance where I can choose to revert back to old patterns, or I could choose myself, my growth, my peace, and continue forward. That's difficult because as an empath, we typically have bleeding hearts for everybody. But what have I said before? You are not here in a savior capacity. You are here to expand your awareness of what your purpose is. And none of us are here in a savior capacity, right? Yes. Shemin Renee, yes, you're feeling it too. This energy has been intense. Yeah, low key, emotionally passive aggressive energy. Relax a hold of darkness and be at cause. To relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. And I'm never in a space of fear where I'm afraid that if someone presents things publicly, a need, a demand, an expectation, when they present that publicly, I'm never in a space of like, oh my God, if I don't say yes, all of these people will think I'm mean. No, I can be a mean ass motherfucker for real. You trigger me just right. Ooh, people don't know I keep my claws sharpened at all times. Like, fuck that shit. Right. But is that what's necessary right now? No. What I need to acknowledge right now is the fact that I'm painfully aware of the existence of the trigger of a time when my child was literally, it was a life or death, not figuratively, not emotionally, not intellectually, not socially, literally life or death, right? Hey, Jasmine, you need to stop commenting. This reading is not for you. This reading is not about you. You have projected onto everyone else everything except taking accountability for whatever it is you need to take accountability for. And I'm not going to spend any of the time for this general reading for everyone else to give you a personal reading. Let me be blunt. Exactly, Yogi Ogli. Yes. Yes. I love how our community is because our community is very sensitive to energy. We are all very aware to specific degrees of sensitivity, the intentions of others. Y'all can read very, very well. Very, very, very well. You guys have the capacity to know when someone absolutely is very, very genuine. There's an actual need. And I have witnessed our community come together and be like, hey, we need to help. I'm proud of our community. I am proud of the emotional intelligence that we have all cultivated together as well as individually, right? We are no longer in this upside down collaborative dream, this space of not knowing, not understanding, allowing ourselves to be very much bamboozled by way of emotions, right? By way of emotions. This is a powerful moment. Um, this is a very powerful moment. And I want all of us to acknowledge what this moment is. Right now, we're all taking the time to really understand how accurate we are in our awareness. You guys are very accurate in your awareness. You guys are very, very kind hearted people. This is what our community is made of. This is it. You are witnessing the way the world is changing and the way those changes oftentimes will put a big target on you as an empath, as someone who cares deeply, as someone who is willing to exist in a space of deficit just to help other people. And if you didn't pick up on it, I invite you to rewind this video to the point in the video where I say I'm uncomfortable. I'm very uncomfortable right now. And I kind of just need to acknowledge this process that I'm in, because then I'll give you guys the exact fucking time. Okay. So at okay. So, damn, it's the time. It's okay. So is it 11:54? So about 20 minutes ago. So that would be at the around the 40-minute mark. There's a comment, and I try my best to just keep reading. You can see the shift in my energy, my emotion, my focus, and um, about I want to say 10 minutes after that, I begin the processing out loud where I'm saying I'm uncomfortable. And then you'll see an individual takes that as the opportunity to continue to push, to push, to push, to push, to push, to push, right? Because there is this witnessing of, ooh, she's destabilized. This is my chance. I can convince her to do what I say. Am I saying the person commenting is bad? No. Am I saying the person who is commenting does not have an actual need? No. I'm saying this is how the world will approach you as an empath when they see you destabilized. Those who don't have the sensitivity, the awareness, the concern, instead of seeing like, okay, you know what? I think my approach was inappropriate. Maybe this is not the right time. I'm making them uncomfortable. I need to back up. I need to give them space. Maybe this is something that I need to discuss privately. No, instead, it's like, yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to convince. I'm going to convince. I have an objective. I will achieve it regardless of the effects on this person. Right? You are seeing in real time the way an empath needs to process. You guys have seen me many, many, many times completely halt the entire live stream, focus on someone because I feel the genuine need for help, the genuine need for our community to kind of create a space like, hey, sit in the middle. We're just going to love on you. We're just, there's things going on. We get it. No, you're not being disruptive. No, you're not being inappropriate. You need us. We're here. We are a community. You guys have seen me do that many, many times. Many, many times. So it's not a case if I'm upset that someone is asking me for something and I need to get paid. And, it's not that at all. This is a case of, wait, I'm feeling a trigger. I need to explore this. I'm feeling uncomfortable. I need to acknowledge that. I need to dig into why I'm feeling uncomfortable. What parts of me are being encouraged to be recognized by me right now? Right? What parts of me? Mm. I think I've shared it before. I'm not sure. At about 3 days old, 3 days old, one of my kids almost died. Yeah. I knew something was wrong in the hospital. I felt very afraid to leave the hospital. I felt like something was wrong. I didn't know what to ask for. I didn't know what to do. My intuition kept telling me something is wrong. Yeah. And at the 3-day newborn check to ensure the baby does not have jaundice. My baby was a pumpkin color. All of my babies struggle with jaundice after they're born, and we had to be readmitted to the hospital for light therapy, which is not a serious thing. And I kept telling the doctors, I think something's wrong. But I was unsure. I was very young. I was unsure. And I can't sit here and blame myself for things I had no control over and had no awareness of. But I look back and I realize I was unsure. So that gives me a clear understanding of why I need to speak with confidence, with surety, right? And the doctor dismissed me. And so we were there for a few more hours. And I'm so glad that the hospital that we were at, the hospital I gave birth in, was a hospital my mom worked in the NICU. And so she knew everyone in the pediatric unit. Those are all her friends. And it just so happened the nurse that we were assigned that night was one of her good friends. And she's like, "Oh, I know your mom." And, in my culture, I'm Filipina. If you know my parents, you're automatically an auntie. And I was like, "Auntie, my baby keeps throwing up. Like it's weird. I think something's wrong. My baby keeps throwing up and it's like it's green." And she's like, "Oh, maybe you just need to burp him more. Let me know if he throws up again and show me." And so maybe an hour later, he throws up again and I show her and she's like, "Oh my God, that's bile. I need to get the doctor right now." Hmm. Yeah. So she gets the doctor. Doctor asks me symptoms. They're like, "Okay, I'm going to check baby really quick." And they're like, "Mommy, we need to do an emergency x-ray." Okay. They call me into the x-ray room. I've never seen a child with that type of x-ray. From his diaphragm down to his pubic bone was complete black. There was nothing. At which point I was told they need to do an emergency um, exploratory procedure to see what's happening, because none of his intestines from the stomach, just below the stomach on down, is showing up. And typically will show up because babies, they ingest gas, and that gives something for the x-ray to show. And we're very lucky. We're very lucky. So from there, they found out he had an intestinal malrotation, and his entire intestines from a few millimeters below his stomach all the way through to his rectum was not receiving a blood supply. And they immediately began the process of ordering an emergency transport to a trauma center. So if it wasn't caught in time, that means his intestines from just below his stomach all the way to his rectum would be dead. And he would have to live his whole life with a colostomy bag. The other option is we don't do anything and my baby dies. So they went and they did an emergency surgery. Caught it just in time. Surgeon said maybe another 30, 40 minutes and all of his intestines would have died. His digestive tract is intact. Surgery went well. But for a week, I watched my newborn unresponsive in the NICU. I didn't leave his side. I didn't leave his side. And I had other children who were also very young. To have your heart tear in half because you cannot leave the NICU. But you also know your other children, because you're a stay-at-home mom, is waiting for you. Not knowing where mom is. And to see that my newborn is unresponsive in the NICU. He's not crying, he's not moving, he's not making any sounds. He's not being fed for an entire week. And at one point, his vitals are crashing because he's not compatible with morphine. Feeling his fear. And that knowing that I'm close, being able to smell me, gives him comfort. I can't leave. I was in that room for every single procedure. To know what it feels like to have an entire room of trauma specialists surrounding your newborn baby day after day, to not be able to do anything except stay in the room and every once in a while let him know I'm still here. I'm still here. They're almost done. And that's what makes what happened earlier in this live stream that much more offensive. That much more offensive and disrespectful. In the way that I perceive it. As a mother that knows the difference between a true life and death situation and something that is just difficult and, yes, very unfair for a child. As an empath, you have a right to feel what you feel. You have lived through what you have lived through. And when people trigger you unknowingly, unintentionally, you still have a right to feel what you feel. You are valid in the way you received it. Because you know what? A person who is really, really concerned about their effect on you, they would ask, I'm sorry, did I offend you? Is something wrong? Did what I say upset you? They wouldn't just keep pushing. They wouldn't just keep pushing. And as a mother who's experienced true life and death circumstance for my child, for a 3-day-old baby, that's so fucking offensive. It is so offensive. And I have a right to feel offended. I do. Does being offended mean you think the other person is horrible and bad? And no. It means there is a part of me that needs to acknowledge the part of me that still needs to heal. Because as a mother, when something's wrong with a child, you blame yourself. I have come to the conclusion the mark of a good mother is a mother who will always wonder and be fearful that they aren't doing enough, that it is their fault that their child is going through a struggle. And they work hard to try and make sure that they do what they can to end the struggle of their child. There is none of this projection. It's their fault. It's their fault. It's their fault. It's them. They're being mean. Oh, that's the toxic person. I won't share my personal thoughts on when a mother can never take accountability for anything. That's irrelevant to me and my personal introspection of my circumstance. Because as the title says, I'm choosing me. I'm choosing me. It doesn't make me a bad person. It doesn't make the commenter a bad person. This is you witnessing in real time how choosing you could potentially play out. Where you begin to acknowledge that you too are projecting out into your environment the parts of you that were hurt. My husband couldn't be there with me. He had to stay with our other kids. He had to make sure that our other children, still very, very young, had at least him there. He had to make sure. And we're very lucky. I have wavering opinions about many types of medical organizations. I do. Some of them I don't think highly of. Many of them I don't think highly of. But I will tell you, because we live very far from this trauma center. Ronald McDonald House. Because of them, my husband and our young children were able to stay on campus in one of the Ronald McDonald houses. And it was it wasn't, they didn't get the whole house. We had a room there. The kids were very comfortable. They baked fresh cookies and fresh brownies every day. They had, if I remember right, like welcome packages for the kids. They had activities, just so the siblings could be okay. And there's still this part of me that's like, was there anything that I could have done differently, done better? Any solutions that I could have, or should have thought of as we were going through such a difficult time. Because again, the mark of a phenomenal mother is always seeking to better and more deeply understand the ways in which you can be even more worthy of your children's love. Right? I look back and there's nothing I could have done different. I did everything, down to insisting and arguing with the staff during a time where I would never have thought to argue with the staff or insist, down to arguing with them about my child, my newborn's need for an incubator because he was cold. Down to losing my composure. They said the hospital wouldn't approve an incubator. They had already taken my son's temperature. It was too low. Like, what do you expect? You leave him out in the open, it's a cold hospital room. And they approved the incubator because when the doctor came in, it was a very rare instance of me losing my composure. And I cried and I said, please, my baby's been through enough. You won't let me hold him. Don't have him be cold, too. He's been through enough. So even then, with the programs running strong, I, as his mother, was able to find the courage to speak up and insist on what he needed. I think it's important, as those of us who are parents are having to face the way the world is changing, never quietly accept things that don't sit right with your heart, especially things that negatively impact your children. Never just sit and accept because someone in a position of authority is telling you. And most of all, always choose yourself and your peace and your healing. Whatever it is you need to process, until you process it, your soul will continue to bring life circumstance that will bring to your attention the very thing that you are not processing. Choose you. Choose compassion for yourself. Allow yourself to receive the support, the validation, the confirmation. Don't allow yourself to be upside down in your perception of how your boundaries are inappropriate, how you are just being mean, how you could easily do this and easily do that. Is it really that easy? Just because it's your norm and that's all you know, helping people, existing in a space of deficit so you can help people, that doesn't mean that you are obligated to continue to exist in that same space of continuing to be the martyr. Mm-mm. No. The world will never have a shortage of people who need something from you. That's not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing. What's a bad thing is when you don't know when enough is enough, when you should say yes and when you should say no. That is the bad thing. I remember years ago, because I was beyond generous with the wages that I earn These are not donations. This is me working and giving what I earn to other people. Um, it became very commonplace for people to come to me anytime they needed any type of money. Complete strangers. Those of you who know me from Facebook, you know me from those days. You witness this day in and day out, people needing something, me saying yes, me giving, me never expecting anything in return, not even gratitude. And at one point, I just got so flustered. And I remember sharing with someone, um, it frustrates me. Like, people are now acting as though I'm some type of ATM. I'm not their bank. Because it wasn't like, "Oh, you need $20. Oh, you need $30, $50." No, like, "Oh, I need $1,500. Oh, I need $700. Oh, I need $3,000." Like, these are large amounts. These are large amounts, and I'm homeless at that time, right? And I was growing in my awareness of the ways in which I never chose myself. Like, if I have the budget to give someone $1,500, another person $3,000 a few days later, another person $700, why the fuck am I homeless? Because I'm doing it to myself. Because I'm not choosing me. Because I'm allowing other people and other people's endless needs to be the justification that I use to continue to force myself and my family to exist in a space of deficit. I take accountability for that. I take full accountability for that. And the powerful thing about the conversation I had with that person, when I was like, I feel like people are treating me like an ATM at this point. This person said, Emmy, no. Do you know how hard it is for most of these people to ask you for help? To ask anyone for help? They ask you because they feel safe with you. They don't treat you like a bank. They feel safe with you. And that shifted everything. No, I am not a victim. No, these people are not using me. Some of them tried to. Those are the people I often would say no to. It was a case of me needing to understand. I created a dependency on me because of my insecurities. I created a dependency on me so that I wouldn't experience abandonment and rejection. I created a dependency on me. And when people became dependent on me, I became embittered. Why? Because I felt the full gravity of what I created. There was no need to blame. There was a need to acknowledge I created a space where people felt safe. And then I created a dependency. So when people felt safe and they're aware of the dependency, they will ask me for things. I can't be mad about what I created. I can, however, acknowledge that it's no longer compatible with where I'm at with my awareness of myself and my journey. And I became aware. I need to begin choosing me and my family's needs. We need to get off the road. We need to be in a brick and mortar house. My family can no longer exist in a space of deficit like this. I cannot justify our continued impoverishment because I'm insecure. You see, when you exist in a space of acknowledging your insecurities and beginning to address them and rebalance yourself, the insecurities can still exist, but your energy, your presence, the way people receive you, they will see you as being confident. People oftentimes will see me as confident. Like, oh my God, Emmy, I wish I had your confidence. And I'm like, confident? What the fuck are you talking about? Confident? Oh, Emmy, you're badass. Badass? I wish I was fearless like you. Fearless? You think I don't have fear? You think I don't have insecurities? Am I just faking it? Because that's where we go, right? Once we become aware that people see the truth of us, we then immediately jump to this space of gaslighting ourselves into wondering if we're just being fake. Because in your head, you're always the problem, right? You're not. There isn't a problem. There are merely opportunities to learn to varying degrees of depths and elevations. Everything in life is nothing but an opportunity to learn more about yourself, your connections with others, the degree of health that you have in your psychology, as well as your body. And I began to realize, well, these people aren't wrong. I appear to have confidence. I appear to be fearless, but I also acknowledge I have insecurities that exist that I just no longer allow to affect me in the way they once did. And because of all the traumas that I've experienced in life, that perceived fearlessness, no. That is me no longer willing to allow a new trauma to be inflicted upon me. So I will lash out, I will speak up, and I don't give a shit the consequence. Because you know what? I already know what I will experience if I don't speak up for myself. I will lose more of me, and I'm not willing to anymore. So I don't know that it's fearlessness. For me, my perception, it's more like I'm fucking fractured. I'm not willing to fracture any further. I don't have time for that. I'm too busy trying to find ways to piece myself back together, while at the same time acknowledging it's in the fracturing that the bright light that I am becomes bent into the beautiful rainbows that I create around me. So even in that, I'm exactly as I need to be in this moment. I am exactly the person I need to be, while also maintaining an awareness that I will continue to shift. I will continue to modify myself intentionally, unintentionally. It really doesn't matter. Just knowing there is room for adjustments so that I can be an even better expression of who I am and who I am still in the process of becoming. I no longer believe in the good and bad of others. I believe in intentional malignancies and unintentional circumstance. Either way, they are opportunities to learn in a much deeper manner and also a much higher degree of elevation the truth of my capacity, the truth of my divine purpose. And there's power in that understanding, that developing understanding that all you really have to be is you. Whatever that is, whoever that is in this moment is perfect. It's perfect. You're not going to stay the same you indefinitely. Life will always find a way to change you, to modify you, to bring you closer to your most authentic self or further away. And you might be like, well, why further away? Well, because sometimes you need to be brought further away from the truth of who you are so that you could reach a point where you finally have had enough. And then you're going to begin to choose yourself. That's the process I went through as people watched me on Facebook. That was a really fucked up period of my life. That was a really fucked up period of my life. You know how many people were watching the shit show of my life unfolding every day? Some of those live streams have over 1,000 shares while I'm live. Many of those live streams during that period, by the time I finished the live stream, there were 40, 50,000 views. And it felt unfair. It felt so fucking unfair that me, as a very private person, was being witnessed in spaces of such vulnerability, and people had no fucking mercy. And now I look back and I'm so thankful. The unfoldment of me, the process of my blossoming, is completely documented. And the even greater gift in that, something that I once perceived as just so unfair, so hurtful, so embarrassing, even after I'm long gone. The great, great, great grandchildren of my great, great grandchildren will have the gift of being able to know me if they want. It's all recorded. It's all there to be witnessed if you want. The things that you go through now that make you think life is unfair, the things that you would rather no one witness, those are important moments. Those are moments that you're going to wish years from now, after you've exited out of this difficulty, you are going to wish you took pictures, that you documented it, that you had more people witness it. It's intense. Life is meant to be intense in short bursts. Life was never intended or designed to be easy. Life was intended to challenge you and take you to higher degrees of understanding and deeper depths of submission to the will of your soul. Choose you. Choose you. Choose you at this point. Your dependability, you need to offer that to yourself. You are dependable for everyone but yourself. You put all your needs on the back burner. Everything for you can wait till later. I'm still very much guilty of this to a lesser degree. Yep, to a lesser degree, right? But yeah, no, I still struggle through it. Is it a struggle, or is it simply opportunities that life is providing me to better understand the nuances of what I'm learning still? I think the second description is much more accurate and a much healthier way to see the process that you're in. We don't use discernment because we're so busy gaslighting ourselves into believing we're horrible people if we don't overgive over this, under that, all of these different things. People will accuse you of being too much. And then when you're less, people will accuse you of being less and hiding and being secretive and withholding. And, you're never going to please everyone. And I think the most powerful thing I learned after the realization that I would never be able to please everyone at the same time was, why do I keep trying to? Why do I keep trying to? Well, because I have such an erroneous, distorted perception of myself, and in my inability to see the truth of my gravity and the beauty of my existence, I seek people external from me to validate the very thing I can't find within me. You can't live like that perpetually and expect to be happy and balanced. Everything you need to know about yourself is already inside you. And what you're going to need to do is find the courage to dive deep into you and your history, to face these things that you've experienced in life. You know, during the time that I lived in an RV, a lot of people thought that I had this like semi new RV with slide outs and just like bougie. We were living in a 20-something-year-old RV that was leaking from bumper to bumper, had no fridge, had mold in it. The electrical was messed up. Yeah. Yeah. No slide outs whatsoever. None. None. And I never complained once. And I still look back at that time in my life and see it as the most beautiful, most peaceful time that I've ever lived. That's not me convincing myself. That's me being very, very honest in the beauty of that simplicity. It gave me the stillness. It gave me the stillness that was needed to be able to begin to see myself with clarity. The price that I paid to gain the clarity that I have now was a cost of my entire life as I once knew it to be. To choose me, I had to leave everybody. Outside of my husband and our children, I had to leave everybody. I mean, no forwarding address, no social media, no phone numbers, no nothing for anyone to be able to reach me or find me. I had to lose my entire self, everything. That was the cost to receive me. And I didn't know it at the time. I just knew I was going through something. And that something hurt a lot. And now I look back and I say, thankfully, when I hurt that badly, I isolate myself because it hurts me even more to allow people who care and know me to experience that with me. Right? Thankfully, because I could have and never would have been able to leave everyone the way I did. No explanations, no nothing. That was the cost for me to find the actuality of who I am, which is nothing like the person that I thought I was. To choose you requires courage. It requires being willing to disappoint others. It requires you to be willing to be seen as bad, selfish, and all these other ugly, ugly things. It requires you to have the courage to be able to not be there for the people who are so accustomed for you to be there. Now, I won't say the people that I loved used me. No. Mm-mm. I will say, though, that had I not been able to completely give everything up, I would have never given myself permission to actually be who I am. Because I know who I am, how I am, these little quirks that I have, the intensity that I exist with. It's a lot for people who grew up with me, people who have known me since before anything Emmy. That's the price. And it's a process. You don't pay the price and are given something that takes years to cultivate. You pay the price and then you go through the process to develop the maturity, the understanding of the process you're in. It's a long process. And it changes everything about you. It puts you in better alignment with who you are meant to be, the purpose you are designed to fulfill. But it starts with you making a choice and choosing you, not what's comfortable, not what is easy, not what is going to keep others from feeling disappointed in you. You know how many people were upset with me? No one had my number. No one had any of our numbers. I didn't do any social media, anything. As a matter, I didn't even have relatives on my very small friends list for social media. I shut all of that down. I shut all of that down. They couldn't even find me because nothing would pull up. If you use my legal name to do a search, nothing will pull up. Not a residence, not a phone number, not nothing. Not nothing. I'm private to that degree. I am private to that degree. Till now, the only information you'll find on me is from over 10 years ago. Till now. There is no paper trail for anything. Till now. I am that private of a person. The price that I still continue to pay as I choose myself every day is a very uncomfortable price of being witnessed in spaces of vulnerability. As I process traumas I lacked the capacity and the maturity to process until that moment. The traumas and circumstance you see me processing in live streams, those are things that happened to me years ago. Years ago. Something happened to you last month and you're like, what is wrong with me? I should be healed already. Who said? Who said? Who said? We are so good at compartmentalization. We are so good at denying the things that still hurt us. It affects our productivity. Absolutely affects our productivity. It causes us to become magnetized. Isn't being magnetic good? Isn't magnetism good? Well, let me share something in regards to quantum chaotic sciences or spectra bioregenesis, the applied biospiritual theories of my system, Kokoro 33. I teach these things. When you are looking at the world of dimensions, we have 15 dimensions in this time-space matrix that we live in. Now, dimensions 1 through 8 is still considered lower dimensional fields of consciousness. Yep. People be tripping off 5D. 8D is still considered a lower field of consciousness. That's the midpoint. 8D and lower, lower field of consciousness. 8D and higher, higher field of consciousness. Right? What does this have to do with magnetism? Well, depending on your rate of oscillation, meaning the fission fusion rate, the exo-endothermic energetic conversions that occur that create standing scalar waves, flashline sequencing, depending on the rate, that's what's going to determine whether you are magnetic or electric. A higher degree of magnetism is indicative of a lower degree of dimensional field of consciousness. It affects your spin rate. It draws your particles closer, making you more dense. The more dense you are, the lower your degree of consciousness and awareness of consciousness becomes. Rather than being able to project the way those who are highly electric, very high degrees of consciousness are electric, it is bioelectric. That creates a higher spin rate, which causes you to expand. That expansion of your awareness creates more space for you to be able to view things from different perspectives and to see, observe from a space of neutrality why you are experiencing what you are experiencing, why you need to learn the things you need to learn. And when you can exist in that state, life is not happening to you, it is happening for you as you are consciously co-creating. Lower states of existence, life is happening to you. You're just drawing things in. It's based on magnetism. You are drawing to you the same degree of whatever frequency you're on, whatever vibration you're on. You're drawing it to you. Well, why are you saying it's my fault? Has nothing to do with fault. Has everything to do with your inability to see clearly, your internal circumstance, your vibration, that is internally held energy. Mhm. Frequency is an external measure of your energy. They are inversely tied. High vibration, lower frequency. High frequency, lower vibration. Because when you're projecting out to increase your frequency, what's inside will drop. It's like, I need to do homework. Damn! I just realized I'm taking a neuroscience course, telecommunications course from Harvard. I need to fucking submit my homework. It's like an etheric osmosis that's occurring, but it has to do with magnetism. It's like ionic charges crossing membranes. It's like that. Um, what needs to happen now is you need to allow your passion, your heat to increase, not just willy-nilly increasing that. If you're not going to be able to control that, that's like giving a child a flamethrower. You're going to burn everything down unless you want to burn everything down, which, I mean, I don't know. Is there a deconstruction that's needing to take place? Are you looking to rebuild something? I mean, there's a purpose for everything. There's a time and a space for everything. If there's nothing to be rebuilt, why are you going to burn everything down? Why are you going to deconstruct everything? Excuse me. If there's no need for deconstruction, it just becomes destruction. There's a difference. There's a difference, right? So if you're going to be able to harness the intention, harness the heat, oh, you can build many, many things with that. It's like the difference between playing it safe and arming yourself with simply an axe and some wood and creating basic structures, lean-tos, little huts, or having a freaking arc welder, having a welder's torch and using steel beams to build skyscrapers. Huge difference. You need to develop the skill, though, to be able to utilize such powerful tools of creation. Because if you don't develop those skills, those powerful tools of creation become powerful weapons of destruction, internal destruction at that. That kind of destruction sucks. You have influence over how you will experience things, over the cycles that you go through. Even when you are waxing and waning, right? Even if you're in this phase, you're just as important and influential as you are as a full moon in a full state. You are in absolute control of your life. You are the center of everything you experience. You are at the center of it. Yes, you cannot control other people, but also, yes, you can control how other people affect you. You have that kind of power. You have that kind of power. So the other day, my memory sucks. So it was recently, um, it is my assumption that the person who commented an attempt to dox me during a public live stream, um, is a person who I'm in the middle of a criminal case against. Um, yeah, I'm sure, again, my opinion, I am sure the intention was to create havoc, panic. I don't use that type of information in connection with my business. Do I need to panic? I need to be very controlled in the way I receive whatever this circumstance is. I need to see the ways in which this it is working towards an end goal of ending that entire situation. I will not allow myself to be at the mercy of what someone else tries to force me to feel, right? That is my power. I control what I will do in response to other people's disgusting behavior. Doxing someone is illegal. It's illegal. It's illegal. Releasing personal and identifying information without someone's consent is illegal. That's all I need to be aware of. That information needs to be documented. It needs to be sent to the law firm. My lawyers need to take care of all of that. And I need to continue forward with my life, presenting messages in the way I do best, real and raw, no holding back, no mincing words, truly fully existing in the gravity of the power I've been given. What power is that? To speak boldly, articulately, about the things we need to be aware of within ourselves. Why? Because I know everything? No, I don't know everything. Because I trust that you are watching the content and hearing the words in perfect timing with what your soul wants and needs you to hear and be aware of. I trust in your ability to be able to discern what message is for you and what is not. I trust in your personal power over yourself and your journey. And it's powerful to exist in that way. I don't have to control you. I don't need you to be forced to agree with me or forced to find a way to apply what I've said to your life. Not everything will apply. Guess what? None of that matters because I'm not here to be right. I'm simply surrendering to my awareness that my soul is requesting I be witnessed in my most authentic state, speaking about my life and the way my life experiences have taught me and shaped my perception of my personal place in my personal world. And if that's going to serve as a template for other people, then allow it. That's okay with me. Is it my intention to be someone else's template? No, because I got a lot of stuff going on. I don't know that you want to be me. I'm sure you don't want to be me. If you think no, I'm telling you, honey, you don't want to be me. Because the amount of fucked up shit that be happening on a regular basis. On a regular basis. Let me tell you, this is me throughout the day, okay? I'm gonna show you a video. This is me throughout the day. Now, I posted it as something else. I had recorded this. This is a conversation I'm having with Michael. I had just recorded this Michael said, record yourself and how we have conversations. And so I did. And then he told me to post it, and I was like, that just looks weird. So I put additional audio over it. You can see the additional audio version on my other social media platforms. It's on TikTok and I think Instagram. But hold on, it's sending. Okay. It cracks me up because literally these are how conversations with Michael go. These are exactly how these conversations go. And people think like, "Oh my god, I don't listen to shit this guy says." All right. Okay, here. Like, what do you want? I'm eating grapes. Mm. I'm not gonna listen to you. There's no way. Oh, hell no. Conversations with Michael. That's how they go. Because you know why? He's letting me know all of the really fucked up shit that complete strangers are trying to do to me for no reason other than because they think they can get away with it. They think that they can use me as a benchmark to see how powerful they are and whatever other bullshit people think of. And most people would be like, oh my God, that's so unfair. Yeah, it is. It is. But it is what it is. And what am I going to make it into? Something funny. I'll just laugh about it. I don't know. Like, what do you want me to make into it? Like, people are who they are. And yeah, whatever. Let me show you the one with audio over it because this makes more sense. I recorded it with no audio, and it just so happened this audio lines up perfectly. Hold on. All right.
Okay, so if your egg is cloudy, that means that there's people around you who wish harm upon you. And if there's bubbles at the top, that means that there's people that are watching you, keeping tabs on you, envious of you, or jealous of you and wish bad to you. If there are any skulls or any animals at the bottom around the egg, that means that your name has been used in some type of spell work and somebody is casting a spell on you. And if there's any
I just lined up so perfectly. It just lined up so perfectly, and it's true. People do that shit to me often. Why? Because they're assholes. There's no other reason. I don't socialize. I don't interact with others. There's a very, very select few that I'll interact with privately. And those are not people who do that kind of shit. They're not into that type of behavior. So what's the reasoning? Is my karma? No. I will not take ownership of someone else's toxicity. I know for a fact I have not done anything to any of those people. But what? But who cares why? I will not allow any of that to have any effect on my life. And that's that. I've made a decision and there is no swaying me from my decision. That's how you need to live. Not because I'm telling you, but that is the most powerful thing you can do, to make that declaration that other people's malignancies will have no effect on you. And that is that because you are the sovereign of your auric field. No, it's not up for discussion. It is not up for debate. It is not up for negotiations. That is that. That's that. That's that. You have to understand, and you need the clarity to understand this. You have the final say in the way your life unfolds. You have the final say. When you allow people to be successful in their attempts to derail your progression, derail your healing, distort, destroy, then they will. Then they will. And no, you don't always have to be combative. There was this guy who he was trying to take he was trying to take the opportunity to like really oomph his ego, right? It was one of the rare instances where um my husband had to run an errand, so I worked out without him. And he saw me doing some stretches for my shoulder, and he like stops me and he's like, "Oh, I see you're stretching your delts. You have a shoulder injury?" And I was like, um, I wouldn't go so far as to say that I'm injured, but I feel like my shoulder's at the cusp of developing an injury if I don't stretch it out." He ignored everything I said. All he knew was like, "This is my opportunity. This is my," and that's okay, you know. I'm open to hearing things. He's telling me all these different stretches. I'm like, "Oh, okay, thank you for sharing." And then he's interrupting my workout to let me know like I need to take bromelain. And I was like, "Oh, unfortunately, I'm reactive to pineapples. I'm allergic to pineapples. And when I take bromelain, it actually upsets my body. I can't take bromelain." He goes, "Oh." I said, "Yeah, but thank you for the suggestion. Have a good workout." And I go back to my workout. And he makes it a point. I'm in the middle of lifting something ridiculously heavy, and he's going to stand there. And I have earbuds on that are so loud, and my hair is covering half my face. So I use that as an excuse to ignore him, hoping he will go away. But no, he still stands there waiting for another opportunity to use me to fluff his ego. And then finally, it's uncomfortable. So I'm like, "Oh, hi, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you." And he goes, "Yeah, you need to look into MSM." And I was like, "Oh, I'm actually reactive to MSM as well. I hear really good things about it, but I can't take that. It makes me feel sick." And he's like, "Oh, that's a oh, oh, you really have a situation." I was like, "No, no, I don't. I don't have a situation. I'm not actually injured. Um, as you can tell, I have healthy deltoid development. It's just I'm putting a lot of effort into hypertrophy of my deltoids. I'd like cap shoulders. That's why they're a little bit tight. I'm sorry you're injured, and I hope you find a resolution for that." And I just looked at him, and he goes, "Oh, okay. Oh, okay." Like, "Yeah, I hope you have a really good workout. I hope all those treatments work for you. Thank you for taking the time to suggest. I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day." He went like that. Like, "Stop bothering me. Stop bothering me. This is the nicest I can be in my attempt to let you know you're interrupting my workout. I'm not seeking further conversation with you." He tried one last time, at which point I pretended not to hear him and I turned around, I walked to the bathroom, and then I came back. I don't have to be combative. But no, you don't get to dictate to me to be interested in something I'm not interested in. You don't. You don't get to. Not without my permission. Now there are people who have been at the gym where um they have information and I want to know more. And yes, it's very obvious. There's no break in the conversation. I want to know more. And I express, wow, this is super fascinating for me. Thank you so much for sharing. And then what happened? You know, like as an empath, you can feel when someone is wanting a hit of your energy. And that's what it is, this desire to get a hit of your energy. Are you willing to give it? If you're willing to give it, then I guess no foul, no loss, no harm, no nothing, right? If you're not willing to give it, you need to make it pretty clear, unless there's a need to be combative. I don't think that you need to be combative, but you do need to be very clear, like, hey, please, that's enough. That's enough. Okay, now you're infringing on boundaries, okay? Please give me my time and my space to focus on what I'm doing, right? Preservation. You need to allow yourself to give yourself permission to preserve your personal peace. You need to give yourself permission for these things because as empaths, people in your environment, especially when they become aware of your empathy, they will take advantage of that. Not everyone will. Not everyone will take advantage of you, but there are those who exist who will. And you need to be able to preserve your energy for the things that are important to you, for the things that you want to use your energy for, not just for things that people are dictating to you that you need to expend energy on for their benefit at your detriment. In those type of situations, no, 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 no. Okay. I'm going to pick 3 cards. If you want a semi-personal reading of some kind right now, #1, #2, or #3, you pick which card is going to give you guidance, okay? So I'm going to shuffle this deck. All right. 1, 2, picking random cards from the deck. 3. All right. 1, 2, and 3. For those who picked card number 1, excuse me. Card number 34. This is for those who picked card number 1. 10th house, the world. The desire for fame tempts even noble minds. Ooh. This is about fame and the world at large. It embodies the masculine principle and represents the father or a primary male influence, or at least a very powerful, influential man. It can also represent the man in a woman's life. Because the 10th house opposes the 4th house, it can sometimes represent the woman or the mother in your life. But mostly, the 10th house stands for reputation and standing. So, for those who chose card number 1, what you're dealing with right now, it ties into your reputation and your standing in your environment, at work, at home, in your relationship, familial connections, parental connections, all of these different things, right? This is an ambitious card. It's about owning the world and being on top of the world. It is the ultimate card to have for when you need to be confident in what you are doing and to go for what you want and nothing less. So, for those who chose card number 1, you are being encouraged to go for what you want. Do it. Take a chance on yourself. Take a chance. Invest in you. Start that business. Start that that goal that you've had, put the energy and the effort into that. Okay. Um, this is the house of Capricorn, and it indicates you're about to put forth a diligent and concentrated effort. The climb and the advancement of your reputation is what the 10th house card means when it turns up in a spread. It also suggests looking at everything as the big picture. The 10th house is ruled by Saturn. Being required to tell the truth or to be honest will have great bearing on how you advance your goals. So I think that message specifically is about you being honest with yourself about what you want and how you feel with how everything has been going. Do you feel satisfied in your connections? Do you feel satisfied in your romantic relationships? Do you feel satisfied with your job? Do you feel satisfied with the way everything has gone thus far? I mean, you know, now is not the time to settle. Now is the time to be really honest with what you actually want. Like, what do you want? Go for it. Put an effort towards it, okay? People will discuss what you're doing, what you have started or are about to make. You may be contacted by the media, become recognized, or at least you'll see your efforts in some public forum. So, for those of you who are really going to put in the effort, like really put in the effort, do it even though you're uncomfortable. Do it even though you're afraid and unsure and worried and all of these other things, right? Feeling very destabilized, not believing in yourself. If you're really going to do it, it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off massively. It's going to pay off massively. There is going to be recognition. There is going to be forward progression that is tangible, right? Let's see. Layers of illusion will be removed. The matter in hand may have something to do with governments, traveling to other lands, or encountering foreigners, or it could just mean your ambitions are about to gain momentum. And as your ambition gains momentum, the illusions that you had about failure, about your inability, about all of these other things that you've been using as a crutch to justify your lack of investment in yourself, that's going to be stripped away. As it gets stripped away, you got to be prepared to feel some type of way towards yourself, okay? You got to be prepared to suddenly feel disappointed and upset that you allowed yourself to wait this long, that you invested in everyone else but you. You know what? That's neither here nor there. Don't waste your energy fighting with yourself. That's some parasitic ass process. No, 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 no. What you need to do is, instead of fighting with yourself and like, see, look, I can't believe I can't believe. No, bottle up all that energy and use it appropriately, right? Oil, when you use the appropriate amount, it can be used to keep your food from sticking to the pan and burning. You want to cook it up in the kitchen? You want to cook up some new projects? You want to create new things? You need a little bit of that oil. But if you're going to dump the whole effing bottle of oil, you're going to start a kitchen fire. You're going to start a grease fire. And no, you can't address a grease fire in any willy-nilly way. You're not going to splash water on it. It's going to spread and become more destructive. So, what I'm saying is this: you are being given a spark of creativity, a spark of opportunity. You need to be very responsible in the way you wield that. You need to be very, very responsible in the way you wield that, okay? Um, in essence, this is the primary card of fame and infamy, your legacy, and what you will become known for. It is a house of success and failure. And this card will tell of what will likely come about depending on the surrounding cards and upon the energies that surround you at the current time. Truth and honesty will decide this matter. The universe is supporting you now. So the universe does not deal with emotional manipulation and gaslighting. What that means is when you gaslight yourself, what you are instructing the universe to do is to support you in manifesting the worst case scenario. We don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want that. Okay. So instead, focus all your energy on what you do want to manifest. And the universe will support you in manifesting best case scenario, opportunities, amazing things. Okay. For those who chose card number 2, it is 43, lunar eclipse, change. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. A lunar eclipse takes place when the earth is directly aligned between the sun and the moon. The earth blocks out the sun's light, causing the moon to be in the earth's shadow. Eclipses can bring on times which seem shadowy and disordered, but they are not necessarily bad and should not be viewed as such. We are meant to be thrown off balance to make necessary changes. It is a time of seeing the light and focusing on something you have either put off or didn't exactly notice was coming up. Ooh, you're being called out. You're being called out in the best way possible, okay? When this card presents itself in a reading, dramatic changes are in store. You're not going to be able to stop this progression. This is for your benefit. Prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, whatever it is. You know what it's going to be, okay? Such changes will likely be unexpected ones, the kind that might seem hard or will take special effort on your part. These will not be gradual, easy, barely noticed transformations. Your world may be rattled somewhat. It will seem more like a revolution. Do not be alarmed, however, because this altering of your life is essential in getting you where you need to be. So, for cards 1 and 2, you're being prepared to take the next step in your life, in your journey. You're being prepared for the next level of success. What is wrong with that? I came across this video where this girl, she's a pretty popular content creator. She said something about like, don't be asking the universe for no gifts when you're too afraid to accept those gifts and bring them home the moment they're delivered to your front door. Don't ask for things you are not prepared to receive, because right now, for many people who chose card number 2, you are being positioned in such a way where manifestation becomes near instant. These are not just dreams that you're having. These are not pipe dreams where it's like you're delusional. This is never going to happen for you. You might not see the path. You might not see how it's about to be made possible for you. So be very intentional in what you're creating right now. Be very, very intentional. Okay. We are all here to share our gifts and lead others to theirs. It's never an easy path. Lunar eclipses herald times of a new way of looking at things. So you're going to need to see life in a different way, okay? Expect to be thrown off balance. If the situation is something you've taken for granted and it collapses, then you will need to make a new start. In any event, you should start to see these effects within the next 6 weeks and expect for an outcome to be completed within 6 months. Get ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Life is about to go your way in the most amazing way, if that's what you choose. Again, it's an elevated period of manifestation. So if you choose to remain in that negative mindset, you're doing it to yourself. You're doing it to yourself. You're creating worst case scenario. You're the only one who can do that. Or you're the only one who can create the opposite of a worst case scenario, which is what? A dream life, a dream opportunity. I mean, come on now. Come on now. Make something amazing for yourself. All right, card number 26. Ugh. All right. This is for the people who chose card number 3. Okay, 26, second house, owning. Wealth is the ability to truly experience life. So you're about to experience something. What are you going to experience? I think all of us are going to experience something. You will own it. The second house is about being grounded in the physical. It's the house of money. It's about what you own and movable goods. Ruled by the sign of Taurus, the second house is also about solid reality, creature comforts, lifestyle, and areas supported primarily in the physical realm. It is also the key to your power in the world, how you feel empowered and disempowered. You need to become very, very intimately aware of the ways in which you can be made to feel disempowered. Why? Because when you become aware of the ways in which you can be made to feel disempowered, you can then empower yourself to recognize when people in your life are intentionally trying to make you feel disempowered. And you're going to be like, why would they do that? Okay, first off, this is a good sign that you don't know why. It means you don't share their same heart, you don't share their same mind, and you are most likely not capable of being that degree of asshole. Okay, that's a good sign. Take that as a good sign. Secondly, why would someone try and disempower you? Well, you're much easier when you feel disempowered. You're much easier to control, take advantage of, manipulate, all of those things. So it's an imbalance that's occurring. And when you can recognize that this is an imbalance, you can begin either consciously trying to rebalance it. And I tell you, people who are taking advantage of that type of imbalance, they're going to fight you on that. They're not going to be like, "Oh my god, I didn't recognize." No. No. They're not going to. They're just not. They're going to be pissed off. They're going to be really, really mad. "Oh, you've changed. Oh, you're different." You know what I say to people who say those kind of things to me? Yes, of course I've changed. We're all supposed to change as we grow. I mean, you haven't changed? You might want to take a look at that. That's very concerning that you're still the same person, that you are satisfied being stagnant in life. People don't like it when I say that kind of shit to them. I don't care. I don't. Oh my god, Emmy, you're savage. No, 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 no. I'm not savage. I'm just matching energies. Some people you got to match energies so they know to knock it the fuck off. Yeah. Yep. Case in point. Rewind this live stream all the way to like the 40 something minute mark. You see how everything plays out. I had to match that energy and be like, no, right now is about me. I had to match that energy of, no, everyone needs to pay attention to me right now. I'm talking. I'm the one. Me, right? And finally, when I did that, when I matched that energy, the bullshit stopped. Some people, you got to match energies. You got to know when to do it and when not to, when to engage that, and when to recognize this is a waste of my time and my energy. I need to use it for creating greater opportunities for myself to restabilize, to feel empowered, to be solid within my own existence. Okay. The second house isn't always to do with money and possessions. It's about ownership of talent, maintaining comfortable shelter, living up to personal values and self esteem. This is about working on yourself. Okay. It is also about what we decide to utilize or manifest in the physical realm, the desired result of which will always be quantifiable rewards, comfort, and also familial happiness. When this card turns up, it's time to concentrate on more practical issues. How do you handle finances? How do you look out for yourself and yours in terms of shelter? How are you being rewarded? Are you making a good living at what you love? Is this a case of you now being forced to take a good hard look at the ways in which you intentionally or maybe subconsciously create this environment of deficit for yourself? Because I don't know, for a lot of empaths, we feel like we have to atone for the fact that we exist. It's fucked up. It is. It is. It's really mean. to you, not to other people, but to you. It's really mean to you that you consistently exist in this state of apologizing for the fact that you exist. You know why it's mean? Because God created you as a gift for other people to witness, to be around, to love, to be loved by. And you're over here disregarding the fact that you are important, that you are needed, that you are necessary, that you exist as an answer to someone's prayer. That's messed up. That's messed up. To not be able to acknowledge yourself for the gravity that you hold within you. That's messed up. There's times where, this type of message hits me hard because it's this thing of everything that I do, the way that I exist, the way that I think, to me, it's my norm because this is all I know. And so I've taken my time, I've dragged my feet. I haven't allowed myself to be as publicly visible as I should be at this point, right? I haven't pushed back on all of the shadow bans that have placed on me across all social media. And when these types of messages come through, sometimes it triggers me and makes me feel so badly because there are people that I am not yet aware exist that are waiting for me to help them make sense of their life in some way, to alleviate some degree of suffering that I agreed and promised to assist with on a soul level before ever entering into this life. And as I've taken my time and dragged my feet and been rebellious and resistant, they've had to just continue to wait because they still don't know what it is they're waiting for. They don't know that it's me that they're looking for. Um, Random ass question. Random question. How many of you were in this space of looking for something, needing something, not knowing what it was or who it was, but life feeling just so weird and incomplete and misaligned and just weird and unhappy and lonely? And you reached a point where you didn't know why, but it's like you felt like you had to find something, do something, make something of yourself, or at the very least make sense of your life and why it just sucks. And as you reach that point of desperation because you don't know what's happening with your life anymore, you don't know who you're becoming, you don't know what's going on, uh you suddenly found me. And although maybe I didn't make sense and you're like, what the fuck is this girl talking about? What? What is she? I don't know what she's talking about. She's weird. She's intense. For some reason, I can't stop watching. And as you continue to watch and observe, suddenly things are clicking and you're like, holy shit. Oh my God. I'm understanding myself. I'm understanding my life all of a sudden. Like, okay, chills, goosebumps. What just happened here? I don't feel alone anymore. I don't feel misunderstood. I don't feel out in the cold. Whoa, what's happening here? And then it goes from, whoa, what's happening here to, y'all are my people. This is my community. I will protect this space. I will stick up for Emmy. Like, this is my space. This is my community. This is where I feel the most accepted and the most understood. And feeling that for the first time in my life, I feel like, shit, I can take on my life. I can actually do something. I matter. Right? I'm seeing all of your guys' comments. And to me, I'm just bullshitting on a live stream. I'm being very serious. To me, I'm just over here oversharing, over talking, being intense, being too goofy. Um, yeah, just absolutely bullshitting for the entire duration of the live stream. I don't feel like I'm doing anything profound. I don't feel like I'm even I don't know. I don't know why you guys watch me. I accept it now. But I just yeah. And I realized one day, um, this is not an uncommon experience for people. This is not this is not normal in the most amazing and magical way. This is to whatever degree um this is destined. This is destined. We were supposed to connect in some way, and I was supposed to give you some type of something that I don't know, maybe you can quantify. Uh and and it is the very thing, this connection, this awareness, this familiarity is the very thing that has given you the courage to not just continue forward, but to start speed walking and maybe at some point quantum jumping closer and closer to a full awareness of the gravity of you. Like, wow. All that because I was bullshitting on a live stream. That's my perception of my reality. All that because I'm at a point in my life where I have so much to fucking say since I spent the first 3/4 or maybe even, I don't know, 7/8 of my life being completely silent and not sharing a single thing, right? And that I didn't need to earn some degree or have some title or be this or that or some caricature of myself or present myself in some way. All I needed was to show up and be me. That's all I needed to do. Just show up and be me. That's it. What's the difference between me and you? I'll tell you right now, don't offend me. I'm hormonal, I'm emotional, I'm very sensitive right now. Don't offend me. When I ask you the question of what's the difference between you and I, the only appropriate answer is not a goddamn thing. Nothing. There is no difference between you and I. Nothing. There's no difference. We are all just ordinary people finding mirrors of ourselves existing as other ordinary people. There's nothing wrong with that. Because every single ordinary person is a walking miracle. Every single ordinary person is a unique expression of God's exploration of its never ending omnipotent potentialities. I mean, wow. Ordinary is also divine. Because when you begin to fractionate yourself because you're not this and that character, what you're actually doing is stepping away from the reality of how divine you are in your ordinariness. You weren't meant to be anything more than what you are right now in this moment and in the next moment and the next moment, knowing for every moment another version of you comes forward. Can we normalize being amazing and ordinary at the same time? Can we normalize that? Can we just give ourselves permission to recognize that, yeah, I said all of that a few minutes ago of how like you were lost and you didn't know and oh, this and that. And then you found me and everything made sense. And um, I said that and I want to follow that with this acknowledgement that when you arrived, when you crossed my path and my awareness of you began, you gave me a piece of myself back to me. You gave me a greater understanding of me. So it's mutually beneficial. There's no deficit. That's what makes this space so sacred. It's always an even and equal exchange. It is always reciprocal. The amount of love I give out, I get back. There's never a deficit. Take a moment to think about this. When you're in this space with me, when you're in this space with our community, do you feel in deficit? Do you feel less than? Do you feel like all you do is give and all of us are just using you? Do you feel like it's unfair? Or do you feel like, wow, I feel a stillness. I feel a calm. I feel full. I feel love. I feel acceptance. I feel peace. Like in this space, all the bullshit of the world, it doesn't exist. It doesn't enter into this space. And in the very rare occasions that it does, it's very quickly shown the door. And we return back to our space of peace, our space of replenishment, a space where we can be who we are and not be interrupted by other people's toxicity, drama, and all kind of other crazy ass shit that is just so rampant in this world. We can just be. I love it. I love it. There's never a deficit when I'm here with you. There's never an unrealistic, unfair expectation of me. There's always an acknowledgement of how I am down to my core, within my heart, as a human being, as a mother, as a wife. There's always this acknowledgement of my value and my worth, not in a way where it's like you're kissing my butt in order to get something, but just an acknowledgement. And that's healing. That's healing. That I know I don't need to be anything but me. And that I'm not just enough. I am exactly what I need to be for each of you when you need me to be it. It's not always soft words. Y'all know how much I love Village Baby. Y'all know how much I love Village Baby. And I think it was yesterday, I was like, all right, what do you need from me right now? How can I best support you? You need me to speak more on how you fucked up? Or you need me to just acknowledge you having a rough ass day and keep it moving? Right? Love is not always about coddling. Healing is not always about softness, tenderness. The other day, one of my kids had something going on with their fascia that was causing a lot of stagnant energy, a lot of built up lactic acid, a lot of very, very painful. And as much as he wanted me to massage it gently, I'm sorry, I'm getting out the scraping tool. And I'm just looking at you like, I know it hurts. I'm sorry. I got to break down this tissue. I got to break down the fascia. We got to release this. This is trauma rising. It needs to be released. Now, at one point, he was squirming, and I'm like, I know. Just breathe. Breathe. Don't fight your process. Breathe. Breathe deep. Breathe slow. Don't fight your process. Don't hold that in. Let it be released. Let it flow and be purged out. And sometimes when we don't choose ourselves, we hold on to the very thing that we need to let go of. There was something that I screenshotted and then I gotta go. What was it? This. And with time, you will realize that letting go is not the opposite of love, but a part of it. This right here. And with time, you will realize that letting go is not the opposite of love, but a part of it. The random stories. I love that. I love that. I love that. Love yourself enough to know when to let go and what to let go of. Final message. Final message. There is someone who, although afraid to approach you, to correct whatever needs to be corrected, to rebalance the connection that should exist between you, although they're afraid to come forward, they're also afraid to ever let go. So that will continue to be there. One of you has to find the courage to work through this, because it's going to reach a crescendo. It's going to become so intensified that it becomes more painful than it actually needs to be. I don't know which one of you needs to fix it. I don't know which one of you needs to step forward. I just know that it needs to happen because pain is approaching. It's about to become very difficult. Oh, Marlene is worried. Marlene is worried. There's limitations as to what I can do. I cannot force myself upon a person who is unwilling to receive whatever it is that I offer. And that's also love. So I'll be live in a couple hours here on this channel, wherever it is that you're watching me. I have a special solo podcast thing that I want to do tonight. You guys don't want to miss it because it's me giving back to the community. It's me all up in my emos, giving back to the community. So you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this. Okay. You don't want to miss this. I'm just saying. Look for the post. I'm going to do the live stream placeholder in a few minutes after I end this live stream. You don't want to miss this. I promise you. So I'll be going live around 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, our usual time for podcast. And I will see you guys there. 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, California time. I will see you here. Please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already subscribed. Excuse me. Please do subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and don't forget to come back in about 3.5 hours. I promise you, you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this, okay? I promise you. I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye, everyone.